Hey guys, Sean here. Today I'm going to be doing a little video on a drop-in gearbox from Evike. I usually don't shop at Evike, but I was browsing and saw this. I had the extra money. It was on sale for like $59, so I decided to pick it up and see what's inside, whether you're getting ripped off or whether it has good value. Now it's LiPo ready. Which maybe that means the parts inside could hold up to the speed and output of a LiPo, like steel gears, metal piston teeth, things like that. But really, no gun is LiPo ready without a MOSFET, which this gearbox does not have. So I don't consider it LiPo ready. Also, it's says it's the Avengers 8mm M4 drop-in gearbox. Came in this packaging. Says Matrix, of course. Simulating a true style. Whatever that means. I guess they're simulating style because they don't actually have style or something. So I haven't even opened this yet. I loosened all the screws already. But I haven't looked inside yet, so I guess let's get at it. Already, what I can see, it looks like it has a ball bearing spring guide, a O-ring, hopefully O-ring, aluminum nozzle, 8mm solid bushings, and low resistance wiring. So obviously the wiring isn't as good as if it were to have a MOSFET installed in it, but I wouldn't really even expect that out of something by Matrix, or Avengers, whatever they're calling it now. But low resistance wiring, it's not bad. It's a lot better than most stock wiring. It's kind of the in-between between stock wiring and having actual MOSFET. But the bushings so far look to be about the same quality as ZCI 8mm bushings. So not great, but not too bad. I mean, strong, very strong, ZCIs are, but they're not my favorite just because some off-spec issues. Alright, looks like the spring guide is, the shaft seems to be metal, I believe it is. It's got ball bearings, it's blue iodized Allen screw on the top. Very loose Allen screw, so it was finger tight, so don't even put this gearbox in your gun. Don't even put this gearbox in your gun without breaking open the gearbox and looking inside first, because you're going to want to put some thread locker on this and tighten it up, because that was way too loose. Which I'll do that later. Non-linear pitch spring, so that's pretty cool. Happy to see that. Feels about to be like an M110. Maybe, yeah, probably an M110. Gears look to be greased, but not over greased, so that's cool to see. The trigger contacts and tappet plate seem to be of the same quality as King Arms, so that's also good. King Arms tappet plates are very nice. It's got a decent amount of flex, not too stiff, not too flexible. Air seal, not that great. Yeah, look at that. The air nozzle has a place for an O-ring on the inside, but there's no O-ring in it. So I don't know if that's quality control or just they didn't feel like they should put an O-ring in it. But yeah, no O-ring. even though there's a groove inside for an O-ring. So good job on that matrix. Piston head, decent. Seems like it's a decent, strong material. Polycarbonate, or not polycarbonate, hopefully not. Seems to be some sort of nylon fiber material, so similar to the piston itself. Yeah, the piston is not polycarb, thank God. It's some sort of similar to like SHS pistons and alike. It's a nylon fiber reinforced type material, so good thing it's not polycarbonate, because polycarbonate tends to shatter. I was hoping to see a few metal teeth at least on this, but for a stock piston, it's a good material, so I don't see these teeth stripping. As far as the cylinder goes, it's a full cylinder, decently smooth on the inside. Probably can't really see it. Cylinder head on there pretty tight, so that's good. Double O-ring, kind of an interesting colored pad on the back. It's a little bit thicker than normal, not too much thicker, so the AOE on this probably isn't perfect, but you know, that's something that I always correct anyway. So double O-rings, interesting pad on the back. Feels like it's a steel cylinder head instead of aluminum, so I'd rather it be aluminum, less weight transferring on your gearbox shell if it was aluminum, but should be alright. As far as the piston goes, the piston in the cylinder and cylinder head, it gets decent air seal. I believe it's just the non-O-ring air nozzle that's screwing it up for that. But it does have a groove for an O-ring, so if you have any spare O-ring air nozzles around, it'll work for that. You can pop one inside. Let's see what else. Gears are steel. They look to be decent quality. A little bit of grease on them, not too much. It's kind of that nasty sticky grease though. Not much to say about that. Guess we can test the shimming on it, which you can't really test the shimming until you actually shoot it, but we can spin them a few times. It's pretty quiet. Hold it together tighter. A little bit of rattle though, so. The shell is pre-radiused from the factory, not the best radius, but it's there. This side is actually better than the other side. Some reinforcement right here. And the bushings seem pretty solid. Alright, another thing I like is on this side has the little slot where you can stick something like your pick in there or a small screwdriver and pull the anti-reversal latch, decompress your spring. Anti-heat selector plate. Decent spring behind it. Also, let's see, the cutoff lever. Cutoff lever seems pretty crappy, honestly. It looks like it's pot metal. So that'll be replaced. Gears seem decent. Not sure yet. I guess we'll have to see the test of time on those. See how they hold up. I do believe they're steel. Alright. Sorry about the interruption. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Anyway, overall, this gearbox, I would say, the gears, they look decent. Not sure if they're lipo ready. Everything else seems to be decent. You know, I like that they radius the gearbox shell. It is a cast gearbox shell. It's not at all machined. So as far as the quality of parts in this gearbox, they're not all the best, but they'll, you know, I guarantee they'll get the job done. And, you know, for $59, you can't really go totally wrong with it. The gearbox shell itself, they sell for like 28 bucks, and it's pretty good. I think the gearbox shell seems pretty decent. You know, radius, decently reinforced. The bushings aren't loose. They're nice and tight in there. You won't have to glue them down. There's not too much reinforcement, so you could add like lower ratio gears, 13 to 1, 12 to 1, whatever, without having to modify the gearbox shell. You know, as I said, piston is a nylon fiber material. Cylinder is steel, which is fine. Cylinder head is steel, which would be nicer if it was aluminum. Aluminum air nozzle with a space for an O-ring, but no O-ring, which is kind of pointless. But if you have O-rings laying around, just throw one in. Piston head, decent nylon fiber type material. Not the best air seal, but that's mainly because of the missing O-ring. See? Nice. The contacts seem pretty nice. I like, well, they're pretty smooth when you pull the trigger. I like that when the safety lever is engaged, the trigger barely moves, which it does move. I don't like when they move at all, but I've had guns where it moves like that far, almost enough to shoot, and I've even had guns where it was enough to actually, when it was in safety, there was so much of a gap in between the safety lever and the trigger that it actually shot the gun. So this one doesn't have much space in between, just a little bit. What I usually do is just add some material on the safety lever, so when it moves up into place, it's already touching, or maybe like 0.1 millimeters away from touching the trigger. So takes care of that issue. So when it's in safe and you pull it, it doesn't move at all. That's what I like. Front wired, they only come front wired, which I don't like. I prefer rear wired, and I'm not going to be personally using this. I'm going to be throwing this in a friend's gun along with a ZCI air nozzle, ZCI cylinder head. This cylinder will stay. I'm going to throw an SHS piston in it and probably keep this piston head. Probably keep the spring guide and the gearbox shell, and I'll replace the gears with XYT or JG gears. And it's just going to be a fun little somewhat custom build for a buddy of mine. I'll probably be throwing a MOSFET in it, and this gun will definitely be amped up a bit after all that. Here's the SHS lightweight full metal rack piston, ZCI cylinder head. I already have a Zorbo on it for AOE. I'll take them out. Piston, ZCI air nozzle with O-ring, cylinder head, ZCI aluminum cylinder head. So it's significantly lighter than this cylinder head, so that means less weight transfer going towards the front of the gearbox shell, making it a lot less likely to crack. So right away I'll take this off and put this on it. But yeah. So I'd give this gearbox a, as far as drop-in gearboxes go and quality, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. Dropped my camera. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Maybe a 5 out of 10 even, just because they're not the best parts. There's some little things about them that I don't like, but I'm replacing all the parts that I don't like and keeping the parts that I do, so it's gonna be totally fine for what I'm doing with it. So yeah, I guess I'll quit making a video and let you guys go on with your lives. As far as I recommend this, for 50, 60 bucks, I'd recommend it as long as you replace a couple of things. But like if you're willing to spend more money, just get like a Lone X drop-in gearbox or something. Those are a bit nicer. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent gearbox. I wouldn't call it lipo ready just yet, but it's definitely not bad. So thanks for watching, guys. Check it out. Decent gearbox. Yeah. Thanks for watching.